You completed a programming tutorial, but still don't know how to code. So you take another tutorial, and another, and another. Nothing seems to be getting better, and you can't figure out why. You're putting in all of this time and effort coding these projects, but feel no more competent than you did after the first tutorial.
Well, congratulations. You're in what's known as tutorial hell.
But I'm here to extend you a ladder so that you can climb your way out of this hellhole and become the programmer you've always dreamt of. Or not, it's up to you. Now just imagine me reading the whole thing like this. Let me actually close that door over there. Hey guys, welcome to the video. I'm a programmer who's built countless projects over the years as a hobbyist, as a wannabe iOS developer, as a computer science student, as a YouTuber, as a portfolio builder, and as a professional software engineer, and currently building a platform for developers from the ground up. Now, many of those projects haven't seen the light of day, but I have found value in every single project I've built. More value in these projects than any tutorial or online course I've ever taken. So today, I've consolidated a handful of projects I've personally built to share with you, complete with instructions on how to do it and the lessons I've learned. That way you can build them and hopefully learn just as much as I did. And at the end of the video, I am going to include a couple of honorable mention projects that I feel like should be added to the list, but I didn't, as well as a project that I haven't built just yet, but that I plan to soon, or at least would like to in 2024. The very first project I'm going to talk about has the ability to be difficult for any level of developer, whether you're a novice or proficient programmer. That is, building minigames. I built many of these back when I was a computer science student around 2017, as well as just as recently as last month. I built my first, however, during my very first programming class ever in Java. I remember it like it was yesterday, a fully functional game of tic-tac-toe in the terminal, using dashes and plus signs and pipes to draw out the grid, and of course X's and O's for the X's and O's, prompting each user to mark a square on the grid when it's their turn. I learned a lot during this process. Inputs and outputs, printing, variables, functions, and if-else statements. And just by building a game we all already know and love. I found that comforting because I didn't have to try to learn about the thing that I was building. I got to focus solely on the logic and printing out things in the terminal. It really simplified the process for me and gave me a one-to-one understanding of how code works. To build this yourself, you can really use whatever programming language you want. Just whip up NetBeans or CodeBlocks, which are IDEs or integrated development environments, which I specifically mention because that means they have built-in build and run tools. That way you can focus solely on the logic of what you're building instead of trying to figure out how to build it and how to run it. You do that, start looking up a little bit here and there, and start coding. That's the way to get it done. Don't copy and paste whole entire code blocks. Just start coding little by little. If we want to take this minigame project to the next level, we can do that too. One route is web development. I recently built a minigame website containing 5 different games: word search, decryption challenge, code trivia, card match, and riddle reveal. This not only reinforces everything I learned from building the tic-tac-toe game back 8-9 years ago, but also adds in that element of front-end development. I used React use cases, even more logic than before. And to add even more to this, getting the website live using GitHub Actions and Hostinger, who, by the way, is a sponsor of this video, but we'll get to them a little bit later. Just know in the meantime, they have an outstanding Black Friday web hosting deal of 85% off. It's the best deal I've ever seen them have, so if you build any websites at all, now is probably the best time to buy hosting. Especially if you use my link in the description and then my code Forest at checkout for an extra 10% off. But again, more on them later. Take a look at this. It's a one-to-one difference in my implementation of Caesar Cipher Decryption Challenge. On the left, you'll see the terminal application that I built with Java. And on the right, you'll see the web version built with JavaScript and React, and CSS and HTML of course. Same project, different languages, different desired outcomes. To build the website version of minigames, all you have to do is whip up something like a Vite project using npm create Vite app. Just do that in VS Code, start the server, and start coding. You're able to build out the logic and front-end design from there because you have a working application, or we'll call it a website, already, and you can see every little change that you make. Now, slightly moving on from minigame project while still keeping it in mind, because a minigame project or just any sort of video game from back in the day like Tetris or something can also be an avenue to learn artificial intelligence. And I mean the deep stuff, algorithms, not the hype. In school, I built Connect 4. And then I implemented an alpha-baiting pruning algorithm, which is an optimization technique for the Minimax algorithm. I also built a Sudoku solver, utilizing a naive backtracking algorithm that simply searches for empty cells and tries a number, checking each time if the number will lead to a solution, and if not, backtracks and tries the next number. But that wasn't good enough, so I also implemented a smart backtracking algorithm with minimum remaining values, or MRV, a more optimized backtracking algorithm using the MRV heuristic, which involves selecting the cell with the fewest legal values to try next, reducing the number of branches in the search tree, making this algorithm more efficient. And I built a Sokoban solver with a litany of algorithms to use, like BFS, DFS, a couple renditions of A-star with different heuristics, a couple of greedy best first searches, and uniform cost search. This was my first foray into artificial intelligence back in 2017, so needless to say, I learned a whole lot more than I can simply put into words and keep the scope of this video here. Now, for you to build something like this, take the game you already built like Sudoku and start with a simple AI technique like a naive backtracking algorithm. Figure out how to write that and tie it in with your code, which is all very simple. Get it working and then experiment with other algorithms or enhance the existing algorithm to include MRV heuristics or what have you. That's it. And by the way, I'm giving you loose instructions for a reason, because this is similar to what I was given when I built these projects. And in doing so, I had to figure all of this out myself. There's only so much you can learn from following a tutorial online, word for word, code line for code line. You can see kind of the overall idea of how a project is built, but you don't really learn code or the logic. So when you have to figure out these things yourself, utilizing the loose instructions, that's where you're really gonna learn. The next project can take shape in many ways. It can be GitHub repositories, enhanced with a GitHub README, or a custom website laying out what we've built, how we built it, and why. Or even a full-fledged interactive website that thoroughly showcases your skills, not just on the website, but with the website. That's right, the most boring project on the list, but probably the most important if you're looking for a job or just want to showcase your skills, a portfolio. What just about everyone starts out with is a GitHub profile. What you see is what you get, code in a repo, but you can also enhance each individual repo with a README file to explain what you built and how you built it, meaning what languages, technologies, and/or algorithms did you use. And then it would be helpful if you listed out how to use it, like I did here with a list of commands, or if it's a website, linking to the website in the repo's description for easy access. But to enhance that even more, you can also create a profile README file in GitHub that enhances your homepage to really make that GitHub profile complete. And if you've been looking at the screen for the past 10 seconds instead of just having me open in an extra tab while you work on something else, maybe you're coding a project or something, you would have seen that I build all of these things myself. You know why though? Because a lead developer once came and spoke to my programming class back in school. And a student asked, probably a question we were all thinking, how much does a GitHub profile matter when applying to jobs? The speaker's response, simply, it matters. But what if I'm not really that proud of my projects? The student asked, and the speaker said, something is better than nothing. A GitHub profile with simple projects is better than no GitHub profile at all. I'll personally never forget those words, even though I'm not actively looking for a job. Because at that time, I wasn't really proud of my projects either. They were just silly little basic projects that I knew had no bearing on what you actually built in the field. But after he said that, the tech lead, who by the way, hires more developers for his dev team, so in other words, he knows what he's talking about, I uploaded all of those silly little simple projects to my GitHub and have tried my best to maintain my GitHub profile ever since. He did specify, however, that it's not just specific to GitHub, of course, it's just, we want to see what you can do in whatever way you choose to showcase your work. Like a website. There are two ways to approach a portfolio website though. If you're a web dev, don't just use the website to showcase your skills on it, but build something that showcases your skills with it. A website that if I'm looking for a front-end developer and I click on your website, I don't even need to take a look at any of your other projects because I'm just in awe over the amazing portfolio website that you've built. I always wanted a website like this myself, and maybe one day I will, but as a programmer, you kind of realize that, guess what? Not everyone's a web dev. I mean, for example, take a look at some of these websites. These are some of the most prominent figures in computer science, and not exactly breathtaking. These websites look like something straight out of the 90s before CSS was invented. But their websites aren't indicative of their skills, nor should they be. These individuals work on computer science theory and algorithms and in that space, not web design or web development. So no, a portfolio website doesn't need to be this beautiful thing. That's not a necessity. All it has to do is showcase your work in your field. That's what I did when I built my minimal developer portfolio last year. Wait, crap, I kind of forgot I built this thing. How do I use this thing? Help? This is my fun little portfolio project that, yep, still curating. Most projects are offline on GitHub or confidential. That was supposed to be a portfolio, but I never added the projects. So yeah, kind of forgot about that one. That's not what I meant to pull up. This is what I meant to pull up, just a little minimal developer portfolio with light and dark mode, showcasing a couple projects here, linking to them, like as you can see here, with what I built and how I built it, as in languages and technologies as you can see here. A bit more information about myself and, well, now that I look at it, I'm not actually that happy with it. Not that it's a bad website, but as you can see from this video, I have a whole hell of a lot more projects than just these three. I don't think these three that I have listed on the website are indicative of my skills. Oh yeah, that's right. I built this partly for the tutorial last year, with new devs in mind who may only have 2 or 3 projects to their name. That's what I did. Well, yeah, if you want to build a minimal developer portfolio, I've made 2 videos on this, a showcase as well as a tutorial video, so I guess check those out. Those are the instructions right there for you. I'll link those 2 videos in the description. And if you build a website like that, you'll need to host the website. That's where Hostinger comes in. And honestly, it's just really good hosting for a really good price. And I'm not just saying that. I've been using them for years with no issues. And right now, they have their best Black Friday deal of all time. Up to 85% off hosting plus their website builder, which we'll talk about in a second, a free domain, free website migration, 24/7 customer support, and 2 months free. Plus, remember, an extra 10% off when you use my code FARST and the link in the description, which by the way is hostinger.com/FarstNight. And it's really easy to get started. Just click on the link in the description, hostinger.com/FarstNight, claim deal, choose your plan, we'll choose premium here, pick the amount of time you want, which for me is forever, so I'll go with 48 months plus 2 months free, and then come down here and make sure you add in my coupon code, FORREST, apply. And as you can see, an extra 10% off their already pretty dang good Black Friday deal. From there, everything is very straightforward thanks to the Hostinger H panel. Just make sure you change your DNS records and you're good to go. Or we can take a look at another way in building a developer portfolio to showcase your skills using Hostinger's AI website builder. And this is how you do it. Under the hosting tab in your H panel, set up your premium web hosting or whichever you got. Click start now. We want to create a new website and then we can go with WordPress. Psych, we're going to go with Hostinger builder with AI. And then, of course, we have to claim our free domain. What do we want that to be? Definitely a .com, right? But let's go with devnotesnewsletter.com because I need this domain anyway, so I might as well get it now. All right. And then you fill out your personal information. You're not going to see mine. All right, here it is. Let AI create you a website in minutes. Start creating. I'm so curious what this is going to look like. Brand name, website type, description. Okay, I know I picked the DevNotes URL, but this is for me. So this is for the portfolio. So we're going to say brand name is Forest Knight. I am a brand. And then we're going to create a portfolio. This is my personal software development portfolio that showcases projects I've built, complete with an image of it, what technologies I used to build them listed out, and a description of what it does. To build it listed out. Create website. All right, I'll see you in a second. So here is where it sits. So home takes you down to portfolio. Oh no, that takes you over to a portfolio page. Interesting. So home, we have my name, a picture of me, presumably, about me, another picture just to break up the monotony. And then we have featured projects, recent projects. So you can just kind of have like a little montage of projects here. Project, 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 project. And then a contact me, which is something I also included in my portfolio website. Come over to portfolio page, has that description right here, a few more images of your projects, and then boom, weather app, e-commerce website, task management. You can keep adding sections. I like this. Obviously, we would need to fill out our own information within here. Oh, it also has this, which I included in my minimal website as well. What did I name that? I have my timeline here, and it also has a timeline: education, work experience, freelance projects, and you can list whatever you want out within that if you need. I'm a software developer with a passion for creating innovative and user-friendly applications with expertise in various technologies such as Java, Python, and JavaScript. I have built a diverse range of projects that showcase my skills and experience. This is actually pretty cool. I like that. And over here we can add element, adjust pages and navigation, website styles, start writing a blog so you can add a CMS aspect into this. And then you can also integrate an online store. Wow, I actually didn't know it could do that. That's pretty insane, huh? Logo maker, AI writer, AI heat map, analytics, SEO, form submission information, integrations. What is this? Google Analytics, WhatsApp, Google AdSense? Dude, what? This is sick. And then languages, of course. Nice. I'm not gonna lie, that's actually really cool. I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about it. I was just gonna showcase it, but I will be honest with you. I like it. It's a good starting point for you to be able to build out from there, put in your information. Definitely worth checking out. It's included in your Hostinger web hosting package, whatever you choose, premium, business, whatever the heck the third one is. Check it out, hostinger.com/ForestNight, link in description, use code FOREST at checkout for an extra 10% off. These next projects are effectively one and the same, but both equally as fun. My AI robots. Last year, I built an AI Nerf gun that shoots me in the face when I get distracted. And this year, in 2023, I built an AI coffee gun that feeds me coffee at regular intervals to maximize efficiency. Both projects utilize artificial intelligence and robots, which is a term I'm using instead of Internet of Things because, I don't know, Internet of Things is just a really weird term to me. You too? They're just me? Alright, sick. I learned about electronics, Arduinos, TensorFlow, object detection, segmentation, real-time face tracking, proper GPU utilization, Jupyter Notebook, and so much more. And despite the late nights of frustrating errors and just things that shouldn't have been happening in the first place, I don't think I've ever had as much fun coding as I did when building these projects. So if you're looking for a fun project or you're trying to reignite that spark that you once had for coding, this may be the project for you. All you need to do is simple. Just do research, buy the stuff, install a crap ton of packages and libraries, write some code or steal some code. You do whatever you want. Tie the code together. You're gonna have to work with some electronics, do this, do that. That's how you get started. And all of this, kind of like the overall showcase and how these projects were built, there's 2 videos about them. Maybe I'll just have a full-on link, just a bunch of links about all these projects in the description, and you'll be able to see a little bit more of how these projects are done. Remember, they're not tutorials. They're showcases and the overall just fun little video with a fun little project, but they are helpful to give you an overall idea of how they're built. Now it's time for the honorable mentions and that one project that I'd like to build, but I haven't yet. My favorite project of all time, the one that broke down that coding barrier for me, tournament simulation. Now this is an honorable mention instead of a main project because I've already made an entire video about it and I don't really want to just rehash all of that information. That video is probably just as long as this entire video where I go into full detail on the project, walk you through everything, tell you why I love that project and how it really broke down that coding barrier for me. So that's why it's an honorable mention. Go check out that video for full detail. That project is definitely worth building. The second honorable mention is a chess AI bot. I actually started building one of these back in September or so, August, to participate in Sebastian Log's AI chess tournament thing that you may have seen on YouTube, but if you didn't, we also mentioned it in the Dev Notes newsletter, where he set out specific criteria and a starting point consisting of everything you need, whereas all you need to do is implement the AI. However, the deadline for all of this was at the beginning of October, and I kind of had a baby at the beginning of September, so I was a little bit preoccupied. And the project I'd like to build, but haven't yet, although I may figure out a way to somehow integrate it into the DevNotes platform, is anything utilizing OpenAI or ChatGPT. This could be in the form of a ChatGPT plugin, or creating something for OpenAI's GPT store, or it could be something so simple, which is what I would do with DevNode's platform, if I do, which I probably will, is utilize the OpenAI API. Wait, I've definitely used the OpenAI API. That's right, I utilized the GPT-3 API when I built Dataset GPT in that video for Bright Data. I don't understand how I forget these things. Anyway, just build something. A fun project would be to build something that you can put on the GPT store, maybe even potentially make a little bit of money, or create a ChatGPT plugin, preferably the former. I just think that would be a pretty cool project to build. For now, well, it looks like it's about time to get back to coding on the DevNode's platform, which, by the way, we're going to be launching the MVP soon and going to be needing some beta testers here in the next few weeks, I'm just saying. You should probably get to coding too. If you can't decide what project to build, just write them all down on a post-it note each, stick them on the wall, and throw a dart at it. It doesn't matter what you build as long as you build something. Or feel free to check out those project videos I mentioned in this video, or do none of that and just tell me to F off. I don't care. I do hope you have a good day though. I'll see you in the next one.